Also spoke to Tony Elumelu, Chairman, Heirs Holdings, on the economic potential for Nigeria going forward. Take a look.
Nigeria as a country is growing in terms of population and in terms of economic opportunities. In terms of population, the current number is 171 million people. In terms of economic opportunities, we have opportunities from telecommunications sector to oil and gas sector to the power sector, transportation sector, real estate and hospitality, and even the service sector. But to me and our group, we have taken very strong interest in the infrastructure space. We have invested in the power sector. We bought a big power plant in the country with capacity to generate 1,000 megawatts of electricity. And now we're generating about 400. We'd hope to increase it before the end of this year to 1,000 megawatts of electricity. So there are a lot of opportunities across the country.
Did you take advantage of the privatization, and I mean advantage in a positive way here, of the power industry?
Let's put it this way: the government decided to privatize, which is actually a good response by the government to allow the private sector come into that space. And I'm sure the government is beginning to see the positive impact of private sector that have invested in that sector already. However, our group decided that power is key to the development of the continent. Access to electricity is very important. We believe in Afro-capitalism. Afro-capitalism is about private sector investing long-term in key sectors such as power that have the impact to help shape and develop the African continent, in the process creating economic benefits and also social welfare for all. So as a demonstration of our confidence in the African continent, and also as a demonstration of what we preach. It's not just enough to preach and you don't do what you preach. We preach Afro-capitalism, long-term investing in cases, and we thought when government announced the privatization of power that we should take advantage and invest in that sector. So far, so good.
I also want to look at the industrial revolution that Minister Aganga refers to, and of course that Minister Aganga being trade and industry in Nigeria. He talks about beneficiation, and he talks about taking the raw materials, not exporting them, and turning them into goods which then can be exported rather than importing manufactured goods. Is this starting to have traction?
You are talking to an apostle and actually a proponent of this too. 2 weeks ago, I wrote a piece I called the Marshall Plan for creating employment in Africa. Africa is growing. The labor force, in 2020, will be producing or unleashing onto the labor force 122 million Africans. And the capacity for the continent, according to the economists, to grow jobs will give us 54 million jobs. So there's a gap. And that gap, I came up with the fact that there are 3 things we needed to do as a continent. One is invest in infrastructure. Hence, we have invested in power sector, as I said before. Because if you invest in infrastructure, you unleash the economy of the continent. 2 is to put in place the right policies that will enable us realize the full economic potential that we have on the continent. And the third and most important point, which relates to what you're saying, is the fact that we need to industrialize. We need to stop exporting raw materials and commodities. We need to begin to process the commodities and the raw material that we have in abundance across the continent, Nigeria inclusive. And that is where value is added, and that is where employment will come from. And so I totally agree with that position. It applies to Nigeria as it applies to all of Africa.
Let's talk now about the fact that the World Economic Forum Africa is coming to Abuja come May. This is a huge opportunity for Nigeria. How do you think Nigeria is going to unlock that opportunity?
I think Nigeria is already taking advantage of that. The President of Nigeria has led a powerful delegation to this conference. We're part of it. And we realize that the characterization of Nigeria aside of Nigeria and Africa in particular is not so positive. So to us, this is an opportunity for people to come and see that there's a difference between perception and what they hear and the reality on ground. They will come and see that Nigeria indeed is a very good place to invest in, a good and safe and secure place to live in, a place full of economic opportunities, a place where others are making good returns. We have been born and bred there and we do business there. So we hope it will be another opportunity for Africa to showcase that we have come.